Short story ideas. Good evening. It's Thursday. It's the 30th of July in a year that is whizzing by, for me at least. Despite lockdown describes my normal life, so I haven't noticed much change myself. I tend to be a bit of a stay-at-homey sort of person, being creative, and I think most creatives do because home, generally speaking, unless you're happy enough to have a studio that you can go to, home is where you get things done. I guess if you're a painter, then you probably do need a bigger room. You can't just be doing it in your painting in your dining room or anything like that. Anyway, if you've got one, how many people do these days? All right, okay, so today's writing prompt is a continuation of the look on your bookshelf and things that you know. How to write what you know. Your bookshelf, and or take inspiration from other famous books. So this one would be The Trial by Franz Kafka. It's about Josef K, who is charged with and has to stand trial for a crime, but he never knows or finds out what the crime is. And so that's today's prompt. And looking at how to develop this as an idea and turn it into a story, it could go one of two ways. The first would be identity theft. So people have been receiving emails from, well, most recently in England, were, we've got photo footage of you breaking COVID-19 rules. You need to pay us a fine of £50. Please send your bank details. Okay, so internet fraud. Follow that up how you like. It could be somebody does it, a very, very short story. They find that more than their bank is cleared up. Maybe their entire identity is taken over. They come home one day and there's somebody in their house, and in a surreal sort of scenario, that person has taken over their life. The other would be to take that story a little more straightforwardly and to try to fight this particular charge. And maybe it would be that it's a straightforward, like parking, but it's for your car, and there's been some sort of lexical error with the software that detected your number plate, but in fact your car was on your drive at the time. That would be one error. I know somebody this happened to a long time ago. I think it was in the days that they were still writing things, and maybe somebody had made a graphical error, and so they had made a note of the number plate rather than taking a photograph of it, and I believe they still had to pay the fine, but having paid the fine, they then had to take it to court. I don't know what the result was. Okay, so would that have any kind of Camel 336? Could you? I'm sure there's possibility for comedic, if only satirical, comedy there. Literary fiction. It's everyday life. You want to show how life is. It could be your assertions that you are innocent, and those members of your friends and family who believe you, those who side against you, the ensuing war. Romance, I don't know, the person delivering the summons. If it's romantic fiction, it would be normally that, I don't know, I don't think I've ever read any Mills and Boon or anything like that, but I presume it would be, I don't know, there's an attraction and follows on from that. Science fiction and fantasy. How about a draft to go and fight in a war against whoever it is? Okay. Identity theft. You steal the identity of a robot. You actually duplicate your identity for whatever reason. You clone yourself. Crime. Well, there you go. I mean, it's a sort of pseudo crime, but at a higher level against you, against human rights. Mysteries and thrillers. How did this happen? What can you do to solve it? Your detective goes to find out who cloned your number plates in the case of the car, and what nefarious purposes. I mean, it could be more than parking, couldn't it? They could have cloned your number plates and gone and robbed a bank, and then you'd be in big trouble. It'd be a bit stupid you going home and parking on your drive saying, here I am, come and find me. Historical identity theft. Well, there was a man in the Iron Mask, wasn't there? So something similar. And also, oh crumbs. Was it The Eagle Has Landed? The original Jack Higgins thing, where the Germans set out to assassinate. It's being done. Churchill, and he's got a double. And of course, Saddam Hussein had a lot of doubles. So a lot of potential there for a historical sort of writing. Political, again, for anti-assassination. We'll cite Saddam Hussein, lots and lots of doubles. And who's to say that they had to be loyal all the time? Well, could have bumped the real one off and then pretended to be the leader of the country. I don't know, was he president? I'm not sure. Surreal, we've already dealt with. Horror, identity theft, yeah, ghost comes and possesses you. That's a form of identity theft, or a spirit or a demon or something like that. Biographical, well, identity theft can involve people who... there used to be this scam with birth certificates, and you get a birth certificate of somebody who died at a very, very, like a cot death or something, and then you would assume their identity, get passports and things in their name. And in fact, I was like 2 degrees of separation, if that, from somebody who had done exactly that. Jury. Okay, so you're on a jury where somebody's done that, they've got a false passport, committed some crime. Oh, The Day of the Jackal, he does that in The Day of the Jackal, doesn't he? He has false passports got in exactly that way. It was quite a common thing, apparently, at one time in England, and I presume it may still be possible to do it. And then Watson, well, we don't need to do the Watson-Boswell thing, but okay, so those are all the genres I can think of and covered. And 8 minutes and 4 seconds. One day I'll beat this 8-minute thing. Okay, right, if you found this useful and you believe that the world needs more writing and people coming together and bolstering each other, and the world needs more art, then, and if you found this useful and it's giving you some ideas, then, and you want to get the word out, then please help me and help the algorithm by liking and subscribing, and I'll ding your notification bell right here and right now, simply because I'm here for the next year at least. Okay, bye for now.